You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here.
Hello, everybody. It's Code RAD coming at you. This is my buddy Jim. How you doing, Jim?
Jason, doing pretty well. How about yourself?
I am very happy. It's Hump Day. Special Hump Day edition of Code RAD. We're here a day early because of my busy schedule. Here we go. A cool picture by artist Anton Taralov, who is now at work on Interplanet Volume 2, going to be exciting. Interplanet Volume 1 is found easily at fundmycomic.com. Just look for that. Google Interplanet with a dash in the middle, and you will find it. Cheap price, too. And hope we'll have a campaign for Volume 2 soon. All right. So, all right. You mind if I go first?
Not at all. No, go ahead.
All right. So, as you know, dear viewers, we've been we've been covering the islands of Japan and England each week, choosing some historical bit of entertainment to discuss. And I've been doing Hammer House of Horror, and I thought it would be I should make an attempt to get through the entire series. And to tell you the truth, I realized lately my heart wasn't really into it. Even though it's an enjoyable show, wasn't too excited about doing it. And I thought, well, you know, one of the most interesting shows I've ever seen would fit perfectly into this format. So I decided I'm going to talk about a British program from 2013 called UTOPIA. Had you been aware of this show at all before this week, Jim?
I had not. No, not until you told me about it. And then if you go to Netflix, there's like several Utopia listings.
Well, yeah.
We want the one with the. If you guys, I do implore you guys to watch it. Just go to Prime if you have Prime, and I think it's the one with the black background with this woman kind of like going like just kind of staring. But,
yes.
Yeah, no, I did not know about it at all until today, and I actually just watched it about an hour ago, and very good, but very, very intense, and not exactly bar full of laughs.
Well, dark humor, very, very dark humor.
Yeah, very, very dark humor. Yeah, very dark humor. But it was very good. I'm kind of curious to see where it's going to go next.
Oh, absolutely. This is a show that with many twists and turns, and I highly recommend it. Well, and we'll discuss it, and you will get an idea if this show is for you. About 6 years ago, I mean, almost exactly 6 years ago was when everything shut down. And just looking at my calendar, I see we have Friday the 13th this year in March.
Oh, do we? Okay.
I believe Friday the 13th was the day everything got shut down in 2020.
Crazy.
Yeah. So as we were all locked in our houses, eating and drinking, getting fat and unhealthy, and watching tons and tons of television, mostly Tiger King, which
yes,
I admit I watched like everyone else. Found some interesting shows, and one of the most interesting shows I found was called Utopia, a British show which had season 1 had aired in 2013, and it was getting some there was some buzz about it because Amazon had just remade it, and they had remade it before the lockdowns. And by the way, there's a lot of stuff in this episode that sort of words that I hear that YouTube is not crazy about. So I'm going to have to try to dance around certain parts of the discussion. I don't want to use those words that causes YouTube to, kind of not lock down. What's the word? Throttle your views on on YouTube. All right, enough of that. So anyway, Utopia, and it begins in a comic book store. There's your typical comic book people hanging out. It takes place in England. I believe it was shot in Liverpool, and like I was saying, the show was shot. Let me just keep going. So there's a comic book store, and these two strange-looking fellows walk in and start asking about a comic book. What'd you do with it? And they go and kill everyone in the comic book store. They do not before they find out who got this comic book. Turns out there's a comic book called the Utopia Experiments that has stuff about a pandemic in it. And then there was also a sequel in issue 2, which was never published. And apparently that's what this comic book shop had. And this issue 1 and issue 2 has a big cult following all around the world. This is the 2013 of everyone going into, I don't think you even had Usenet in 2013, but that kind of idea. All kinds of message boards, basically. People discussing this strange comic book, the Utopia, which maybe had clues about the future and stuff. Very intriguing stuff. So now one of these guys on the Utopia bulletin board has somehow managed to find this mysterious manuscript, and people are getting killed who are near this. So a terrific setup. We meet our characters. There's a pretty hilarious scene in the beginning where, maybe it's not hilarious, but I chuckled a little bit. One of our main characters, Becky, to me, she seems like a grad student who's like talking to her advisors about doing a thesis or something about this Utopia comic book. And her advisors are just like dripping with contempt. Like, Becky's like, well, come on. They write PhD theses about Dr. Bloody Who. I thought was kind of funny.
And Star Wars.
And Star Wars. Yes. So,
Doctor Who.
Yeah. We also meet Grant, like an 11-year-old kid.
Yes.
Who's a right dick. But you can tell from the beginning that you're going to grow to like him. He is,
yes,
he is quite a rascal, up to no good, robbing cars, bothering people, and he's a part of this Utopia cult. People interested. Let's see. There's Wilson, who's got the X-Files poster in his office, his bedroom. So that tells you right there. That's all that's his main thing. He's a super conspiracy dude. He's very disheveled. All the typical stuff that how they portray conspiracy theorists and TV and the movies. He's disheveled, wears baggy clothes, and quite weird and eccentric. Ian must be the fellow, the IT specialist.
Yes.
And so, of course, he's the complete opposite of Wilson. Ian wears suits, is quite dapper, very neat, quite a mainstream guy. And then there's a guy named Bijan. I forget how they pronounce his name, but
yes, the guy that
he is not long for this world. He is the fellow who actually managed to get the manuscript, which would be pretty exciting, but it is not good for your health to come across to get that manuscript. Then there's a side plot with Stephen Ray, a really great actor who is like the president or something of a pharmaceutical company, who is quite keen on blackmailing a politician. I don't know if he's a politician. He's like the assistant secretary of the Ministry of Health, something like that. And he's getting blackmailed to push for the government to buy, 1 million doses of a shot for the Russian flu, right?
Yes, that's right.
So for so there you have an intriguing plot. I'm saying a shot, because I think what it really is one of those words that YouTube doesn't like for you to say too much. But he manages to trick like the Secretary of Health of England into buying millions of these shots for some totally mysterious reason. At this point, we have no idea. Oh, and then there's also the question of who is Jessica Hyde?
Yes.
Our evil government hitmen. This is what they're trying to find out when they capture you and torture you and kill you. They want to know who is Jessica Hyde, which no one knows. I mean, she is not. We don't have any idea as viewers. Probably something to do with the comic book. I think so, but it's a total secret at this point. So I think I have covered most of my main points. It's an amazingly beautiful show in terms of the cinematography, especially now. Like the way everything. I mean, not everything, obviously, but so much is shot with like a blue filter. And especially like a lot, comic book movies, which you would think would lean into the color. So many comic book movies, like say Watchmen.
Oh yeah.
Probably. Well, regardless of when it came out, I mean, Watchmen is such a colorful comic book.
Yeah.
And the movie was so drab and
well, Zack
that
Snyder.
is a common criticism of movies in general. They just look drab and dreary, no color. So if that bothers you as well, check out Utopia, because it's very, very colorful, very bright.
I'm really gonna say, Zack Snyder, I think, is afraid of color because he just his movies, just the ones that I've seen, just it's a lot of like grays and a lot of browns, but not much. You think a guy with those comic books would be up by the color, but nope, not at all.
Yeah. I recently watched Dawn of the Dead for the first time. Probably since the 2010s. It was on Netflix, and I think he must have made that before he decided everything has to be drab and dreary, because I remember that not being particularly colorful, but it didn't have that dingy blue look like everything else does since then.
Man of Steel.
So I mean, how can you make a Superman movie without bright colors?
Just I mean, I was just imagining just like what would be like if he did like Zack Snyder pretends like Ziggy or something like that, or just his take on Ziggy or something.
For sure. Dawn of the Dead was a big surprise. I mean, that was one of those classic movies. Everyone was like, no, don't remake it. Like, he actually did a good job. I mean, most people like that movie. I think it's a pretty solid movie. And somehow how he went from that to being one of my most hated directors of all time, because he followed that up with 300, which I'm not a huge fan of that movie, but I liked it.
Yeah, it was good. It was, and then Sucker Punch, and then which I thought was like, and then Man of Steel.
I turned off Sucker Punch, and
yeah,
Watchmen is a big disappointment to me because I feel like he did a pretty good job of adapting the comic book until he totally ruined the ending. And even though I sat there in the movie theater thinking, I like this movie, I was really loving it, I don't think I ever watched that movie a single time on video, just because the way he screwed up the ending so terribly. It just really stuck in my craw, and I haven't been able to rewatch it because, like, how do you just fumble the ball as you're about to go over the touchdown? All he had to do was do the squid, and he made it such a weak ending. And so there you have it. Utopia, bright color, dark conspiracy, fantastic plot, really an intriguing idea, a comic book which obtains a secret, and if you get it, these hitmen will be looking for you. Highly recommended, and highly recommends you follow our journey through Utopia through the next few weeks. And I will also mention right now that episode 100, which will be happening in about 9 weeks, will be our first live stream. So do join us. Tell all your friends.
Yes, please. Definitely. Yes.
And we will be watching something that will be a big surprise, something a little
Yes.
bit out of character for us.
Yeah,
all right, Jim, tell us
Okay.
what did you
All
bring
right.
to the table this week?
So today I'll be talking about. Let's see. I got my slides here, but I can't seem to
Let's see where
bring them
I'm
in.
All right, here we go.
So, going to start with. If you don't know this guy, this is pretty much the father of Japanese manga and Japanese anime as we know. This is Osamu Tezuka, and basically he's kind of like the Walt Disney of Japan. But he basically created characters. Even if you may not know the shows or the films, I think you probably know the characters. At least, well, one. I'm gonna say the big one for last, but he did shows like Princess Knight, which people say it was on American TV. I don't remember personally on American TV. I saw it on the Spanish channel during the 80s, but I don't remember seeing it ever the English dub version on American TV. But if anybody out there watching knows otherwise, please tell me, because I'm kind of curious with the series. He also created shows like Kimba the White Lion, which we did get in the States.
Yeah.
When we were growing up, though, I don't remember them ever playing it when we were kids. Usually that's Speed Racer or Battle of Planets, but I don't remember them showing Kimba as a kid. But it was a popular show in the 60s and early 70s in American TV. And then finally the big one, Astro Boy.
All right.
Now, even if most people at least have seen Astro Boy. So he's a very, very, very well-known character in Japan, and that had a pretty big following in the States during the 1960s. Well, he decided, why not do a show that combines puppets, marionettes, and animation together? So I think now it's kind of hard to find info about the show, and I'll get to in why in a few minutes. But I think, here we go. This is Ginga Shonen Tai, which translates to Galaxy Boy Troop, which, does mix puppetry, marionettes with animation. Now I know, like, are you familiar with Thunderbirds and Jerry Anderson?
I'm aware of it, yeah.
Basically those shows became popular in Japan.
Okay.
But this aired from 1963 to 1965. So I think Thunderbirds, I think that didn't really quite air in Japan just yet. But this show did. Supercar.
Nice.
That was the fourth of the Jerry Anderson. Yeah. Just big on those mascot animals.
Yeah.
Especially monkeys. I don't know why. Speed Racer had one, Supercar had one, but this did air in Japan in the early 60s. I'm thinking like he probably saw this, and that's probably how we got the idea. I'm guessing. There's the series that was shown in black and white, but there's a good shot of the set.
Nice, yeah.
In color, but there's the monkey up there by the clock. Monkeys.
I love the burns on that little wall behind the supercar.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I like that too. Yeah, did not notice that. So it's made up of characters. It takes place in the 21st century. Now the series ran for 92 episodes, but only one exists in its entirety. Actually, that's just crazy. That's just can't. Nothing really. Or if you're a Doctor Who fan, you're familiar with series that were junked by the BBC, but to have every episode missing but one, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
But let's see. it was kind of hard to find really good images of this series, but they're kind of grainy. But there's that's on the far left. That's Tex.
Ah,
Who's
yes, of
the
course.
yeah?
I'm gonna love a show
Who's
that has a character named Tex.
yes? He's the cowboy. He's kind of a jerk, and he literally shoots first and asks questions later. In the middle, we can't really get a look at him right now. That's Pedro. He's got a Mexican sombrero, and on the end is Mr. Ban, and they're 3 of the 5 members of the crew. This is their leader. So every article that I read said his name was Rob, but apparently in Japan his name was Roppu, Roppu,
Hmm.
and this is kind of strange, but you can't see in this shot. But the series was shown in France, and apparently the copy that we're seeing right now was found in France. So it was in Japanese, but had French subtitles, which was kind of interesting, I thought. And the copy that I saw had Japanese audio, French subtitles, but on to the very top of the screen was
Yeah.
English subtitles. So I was kind of sure what do I look up here or look down here? You know, where do I look? You know, so it's a little disorienting. But that's Roppu or Rop as they call him in France, apparently. And that is Myra. So Rop was the leader. He was a very intelligent, very courageous, kid with a good heart. The typical kid you want for the main character is for a hero and the leader. And then it's Myra, who was dressed like a Native American. I'm guessing so. We have a cowboy and a
Right.
Native
Yeah.
American, I guess, on the. So Myra is very intelligent and she's very skilled in science, and the others are just kind of there. Um, so so basically, the enemy of Ropu are the Tigress. They're an alien race that they were able to kick off the Earth, but now they're hiding somewhere on the moon. So they're trying to find them on the moon. They're looking and looking, and they find this interesting craters. They think maybe there's a crater, there's a hole within a hole, and they're basically checking to see, well, maybe that's where the enemies are. Is their
Yeah.
enemy base? They land, and it's kind of comical. You can see the strings. You can see the
Yes.
strings.
Yeah.
But Pedro is excited because there's basically no gravity on the moon. So of course he's having a good time. He's jumping all around the place.
Yeah.
Because he's a kid. So
Mhm.
let's see. But he finds this. There's like a strange. He finds something strange, and it turns out it's a camera. They're being watched by the enemy. And naturally says, "Hey, no problem." Tex pulls out his gun and just shoots it. It blows it up. So there's his, ask questions first, or ask, shoot later, and then ask questions.
Yes.
So now it's blown to pieces. Eventually, I think Rob, he doesn't say this, but I think Rob just figures, you know what? We're the only 2 actual value members of this team. Let's just go, you and I just go out, looking for ourselves for this enemy base, and leave the other 3. We're the only 2 pretty much useless. We're the 2 useful members of the team, so we're just going to go over ourselves. They think they find something. Oh, by the way, that's their car, Mr. Six. Mr. Six apparently is an all-purpose vehicle. He can fly. He can go underwater. He can you can drive on the road, and he's by voice command. So an intelligent, a smart car.
I think we need to bring that back. Naming
Mr. Six?
cars Mr. something.
Yes, exactly, Mr. Six.
I thought it was kind of weird at first, but it's the idea is growing on me.
Yeah, Mr. Six is kind of a cool name. Yeah.
Yeah.
In kind of like a 60s kind of spy kind of way.
Sure.
So they find the old ruins of the city, what's left of it. Apparently the city was destroyed, probably by the Tigress. She sees something that's shiny, but apparently it's a shard of glass. They find this a very unusual box that's playing music.
Yeah, that's quite intriguing.
That is, yeah. We don't really find out much about it, but Rob who says to Myra, there's a translating device aboard the Moonlight rocket. That's the name of their rocket. Why don't you go back and get it? So she does, but she says, "Hey, you've got enough helmet. Sorry, if I was try to talk a little slower, more slowly." Says, "Do you have enough oxygen in your mask, your helmet?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, as long as I don't move around, I'll be fine." Well, so they part ways. He says, "As long as I don't move around much, I should be fine with my oxygen." Well, he's waiting and waiting for a while, and he thinks he sees Myra, but it's actually the enemies, the Tigris.
Yes.
Tigris are now after him. So since there's very little gravity on the moon, he's actually able to jump and like jump kick uh, the guys out of this spaceship, except for one. Um, and they're fighting, but sadly, his oxygen starts to run out, and Rabu faints with the one of the remaining enemies standing over him, and it ends with a cliffhanger. So was Rabu okay? We guess he will be. We don't know because this is the only episode again that's
Yeah.
in
Oh
existence, which is
man.
really crazy. So now the big question is what exactly happened to the episodes? Were they thrown away? Were
Mm.
they destroyed? Well, the thing is, no one really knows for sure.
Mm.
Some people say that Osamu Tezuka didn't like it, so he ordered all the copies destroyed or burned. But
Mm.
I don't. That seems kind of hard to because I think if it was really bad, like a bomb, I would see. Because 92 episodes to me, that sounds like it was a hit. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, yeah,
Couldn't.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, he just may not have been happy with the way it was, the way it came out.
Yeah, maybe not. And if maybe anybody might know, it's really tough to find information about the series because there's just not much left to really see. But I did find there was some merchandising. There was a record
Oh,
released,
nice.
so I forgot to include that in my presentation. But if you do a Google search, it's there. But so there are some leftovers from at least there's one episode. 91 more to find. So hopefully, will they ever turn up? Hopefully, hopefully something will. But we never get to probably find out how Roku got away from the Tigress and how he was saved without with his oxygen running out.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, you Frenchies. One of you must have had a 8 mm camera pointed at your television while you were watching this back in the 60s.
Yeah, come on,
Was it
find more
60s?
episodes of it. There's more out there. You can find.
Yeah.
You found one, so you got to find.
Yeah.
Probably at some point more. I think will turn up, but I don't know when. But
Right.
hopefully more. But because it is, yeah, it's a pretty. It wasn't really a great series, but I think it was kind of cool how they blended. I think it was the first attempt to blend puppetry and animation. It was a little jarring though, I think, because I think most of the Jerry Anderson series they would use models, which looked
Mm,
more realistic and kind of had a better, the episode flowed better.
okay.
Whereas, it was puppets and animation, then back to puppets again, and so I think even though it was very innovative, I don't think it really quite worked.
Mm.
It was not as seamless as I thought
Yeah.
they had hoped, but it's definitely a very interesting piece of Japanese media trivia and also lost media trivia as well. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
I thought it was quite atmospheric. I liked it. It kind of, makes me want to go and watch some Jerry Anderson shows now. I haven't since I was a kid. I think the idea of, using marionettes is intriguing. That could be really interesting. If you're not too hung up on realism, you want to do something that is just,
oh yeah.
yeah, going for a mood. Um, wouldn't mind seeing more of that. I mean, I think, the last one that I can recall was what, Team America.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was who was that? That
Yeah,
was
the
that Trey
Trace
Parker or Matt
Parker,
Stone?
Matt Stone. Yeah.
Well, I think remember the one scene where they basically just like, what, we're gonna have the puppets just collide.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
gonna have them fighting. I
yeah,
think the same thing happened in Galaxy Boy Trip. It's like, we're just gonna have to just let
yeah.
have them bash into each other and look like they're fighting. So just yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, for a 30-minute kids show, it was entertaining. Go find some weird guys on the moon and you got a monkey with you and a little kid. It was all, the voices were great. I mean, especially the little kid voice was very funny.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely worth a look.
Kind of felt bad for the kid. The text kind of he hits the kid on the head, and it's like, geez.
Oh yeah. Plus you got Tex. How could you not love it?
Yes, that's it. American Cowboy. See, well, I think a lot of people probably liked it because 90 episodes or 92 episodes. That's somebody must be watching somewhere. So if somebody was watching back then, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about viewing habits of people in Japan, but I imagine this would be a show that aired 5 times a week in the afternoon. But
I believe
maybe
so.
not. Maybe like once a week on Saturday or Sunday. Who knows?
I believe once a week or once a. I'm not sure. It's kind of hard. Maybe I wonder if they even know. I guess they probably find like an old, whatever the equivalent of Japanese.
But yeah,
Japanese
there's
TV guide or
probably a
something.
record of a Japanese TV guide from back then. I got to imagine.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'll look into that.
Yeah, I wonder if Saturday morning cartoons were a tradition in Japan like they are in America.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of them actually were on prime
shows
time.
On Saturday morning.
Yeah, but also I think a lot of them they would put on prime time also.
Oh yeah,
because a lot of animation for years was viewed as just in America as kids entertainment.
Yeah.
But over there, they took it a lot more seriously, and did things that you would never see by Hanna-Barbera or Filmation or whoever.
Yeah.
But I do believe Saturday morning cartoons were a thing over there. I think. Of course, now they got streaming like we have here, but I believe they did. I think, yeah. But again, if somebody out there knows, maybe please leave a comment below. But I'm pretty sure Saturday morning cartoons were a thing in Japan.
Yeah, I don't even know what they show on television in America on Saturday morning right now. Never mind what they showed in Japan on Saturday mornings 60 years ago.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, now it's
no idea.
Like a lot of.
Yeah, there's still Saturday morning cartoons. No idea.
I don't think there are anymore. Kind of sucks.
Yeah, I don't think so. No, but
No.
Yeah, I mean, for me as a teenager, Pee-wee's Playhouse was pretty much the last gasp for me. Saturday morning programming. That was great. Worth getting up out of bed on a Saturday morning, watch Pee-wee's Playhouse. But
I love Penny. Penny was great.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, Tex actually, he kind of reminded me of like if Randy had a dad. Remember Randy from Pee-wee's Playhouse?
Sure. He was the marionette, right?
Yeah, he was married.
Yeah.
He was Randy's dad, Tex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now we know who Randy's father was.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah. So thank you for joining us, everyone. Good to see you again, Jim. And
see you again too, Jason.
We'll be back again next week. Bye, everybody.
Take care. Bye for now.